Good times. Gas prices have risen, taxes are rising, the Taliban has magically become a threat once again, other foreign problems have magically popped up after 4 years of being dormant, Obamacare for some average income American citizens is now $500 a month per person, and then an extra $2,500 to pay out at tax time. And who can afford that? All happening just this year. Welcome back, Swamp. We sure missed you. After 4 years of that dangerous Donald Trump, who did so much bad. What was all the bad stuff he did again? No matter. We can just blame him for all the horrible things this administration does. I mean, come on now. They created and fueled riots and blamed other people. They're quite good at it. Some of us know that the real dangers were simply how the swampy left reacted and dealt with him. One full term of tantrums by the opposition. Actually, it's how they deal with anything today. Riots, tearing up speeches. The list is endless. That's great leadership, huh? If you don't get your way, throw a tantrum. Then say you're defending the country you say is horrible and racist. Which reminds me, insinuate everything is racism without evidence. You don't hear much about what's really going on, so it must not exist. Or you're a conspiracy theorist. You're QAnon. You're a Trumper. You're a Nazi. Dangling the carrot of freedom, slowly taking it away, because safety, because COVID, because protecting you, because Russia, never China though, because racism, because reasons. Now for those of us who pay attention to all of the details, we're going to look back on these times in amazement, amazed by the attitudes of so many people and their self-absorbed, naive, gullible, and entitled ways. We demand that we have a right not to be offended. We have a right to free health care. We have a right to not get sick. Socialism is suddenly great. American citizens can't enter the country unless they're tested or vaccinated. If you want to enter the country illegally, hey, come on down. You can't enter this store unless you're tested. You can't go to your kid's school play unless you're vaccinated, regardless of your beliefs and regardless of common sense. How is Walmart essential but not a health food store? How is healthcare a right and not food and water? If I'm depressed, do I suffer from depression or am I experiencing one of many human emotions, some not as fun as others? Why are you so concerned with my teeth that you fluoridate the water but do nothing else to help my oral well-being? Of course, that's something the Nazis did in concentration camps to promote passivity. Oh, you tinfoil hat wearer. Are depressed people more easily controllable? Well, the vaccine might work, but then you're still contagious, and you still might get it. You have to get more, and then it doesn't work, and then it might do this. And if you even question it, you're against anything that's good. It's just amazing to me how many people want to be treated like children, having everything done for them, decisions made for them, having no responsibility for their own actions and their own well-being. In my opinion, we should have allowed our free citizens the choice to do what was best for them, not try to parent every person in the country by sending them to their rooms while monitoring everything they do. Can we say control issues? Of course, the brainiacs will say, you should want to protect everyone else. I want to protect myself and those I care about, thank you. And if you do you and I do me, things would be a lot better. If we're so concerned with everyone else, why aren't they concerned about the poor parenting going on? If you're so concerned about my teeth, pay my dental bill. And if we're so concerned with saving lives, why come you didn't say anything about the 47 million people who got the flu in 2017? Or the 100,000 that died from it? Or all the people who have died from car wrecks every year? Should we now ban cars? How about all the preventable deaths from the manufactured foods we eat? If we're to be morally consistent, we should be banning high fructose corn syrup, knives, bricks, matches, just about everything. Pick and choose, selective outrage, selective concern. Some people seem so concerned about everyone else, except this.
This leaked audio tape, a conversation between Paul Rossi and George Davison, who's the head of school.
Okay, so we're demonizing white kids. Why don't you just say it?
We are using language that makes them feel less than for nothing that they are personally responsible for.
What's happening in that recording? He's saying, yes, we do actually have curriculum that teaches white kids that they are less than. How would you characterize the conversation?
I think that it was a frank conversation between the head of school and someone he knew felt a certain way about this curriculum. And I think what it shows you and what I see every day in my practice is that this ideology is being spread through fear. People are terrified to speak out, even though they see people being divided and demeaned on the basis of their race, and they know it's wrong. Many, many, many people know it's wrong.
It may be wrong, but Trump was against it, so we need to be for it.
But they are afraid to speak out for fear of losing their jobs, and for fear of, if they're a parent, for fear of their child facing repercussions in the school. Even people at the highest levels of these institutions have doubts about what this is doing to children, but they're afraid to say so publicly. Paul Rossi agrees that racism is a terrible thing and that children, need to learn to treat one another as individuals and with respect and with dignity and fairness.
So why aren't parents teaching this instead of our government-run schools?
Very few reasonable people would disagree about that. This is really a discussion about how this should be taught in the schools.
How about a discussion on what should be taught in schools and what should be taught at home? Almost seems like parents don't have to teach their kids anything now. Your government will do it.
And the critical race theory ideology is incredibly toxic and divisive.
Welcome to Biden's America. Past generations have made life so good for most of us, we get an ego. We think we can be the world police. We think we can parent the country under the guise of goodwill, and if you don't comply, you don't care about others. A lack of intelligence grooms more unintelligence, and stupid people propose stupid ideas. And I've said it before, science says we're getting dumber, and our reactions as of late, shining proof of that. Why aren't we listening to the science? The science is settled. Now, I could be wrong, but it seems like things started to go really downhill once the hippies took control. Think about it. Free love? Nope. They ruined that. Once they started to run things, they started ruining things. And once their kids and grandkids came around, we now have cancel culture. Good job. Hey, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm one of the few that could at least entertain that thought. Some people refuse to admit that they could possibly be wrong. And as I've said many times, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make him think. I don't know. Just call it how I see it.